I think raising a child with special needs is, it's very difficult to give you a single answer. You're waking up? Because on the one hand, it's an amazing experience. You're constantly on a daily basis reminded of what's really important. On the other hand, there are just additional things that you have to do, additional things that you have to think about. What do you think, buddy? He's nonverbal, so he can't really express what he wants. You gotta dress him, you gotta feed him, you gotta bathe them, you gotta make sure that they're not hurting themselves. Everything starts revolving around the care and maintenance of the child with special needs. Good job. Then you add these unexpected aspects of healthcare. This is our life over the last 9 years. This is what we've been doing.
If someone were starting out with the healthcare system with a special needs child, I would tell them that they need to be ready to do a lot of work. They'll need to be ready to really advocate for their child, ready to devote the time.
So we'd had a variety of different things going through this journey. One of his doctors recommended we get a wheelchair. While I was working at Optum at the time, I figured, you know what, I know exactly how this is gonna work. After about the third phone call, I started taking notes. Well, after 24 phone calls, I can't remember how many letters that we sent back and forth, talked to at least 2 different nurses, not to mention all the conversations that we had with wheelchair vendors and doctors and things like that. It took 8 months. Finally, I said, you know what, I give up. I don't know literally how to get a wheelchair. And so I started asking questions of other families like ours, and whether or not it was for a wheelchair or whether or not it was for something else. A lot of these stories from these families were very, very similar and just equally as frustrating, in some cases infuriating.
And then he's also... The most frustrating thing when dealing with my insurance company is I feel like they don't care. Thank you. If they had a very good understanding of the unique circumstances that we all face, just knowing who we are, I think that would be a great place to start.
Hey, good to see you again.
When I first met Tom and heard his story, my first reaction was, I'm not sure what we are going to do, but we got to do something. As an organization, we were not recognizing how much burden it was actually placing on the parents themselves. The role we needed to play was to know that family, know that situation, and connect dots inside our own company to make all of that work faster.
I'm very excited about the work that's going on right now. We've got the Personal Advisor Family Support Program that's being run out of Green Bay. The team there has been just unbelievable.
4130. If you guys have any questions regarding billing.
When you have your own personal advisor, we already know what condition this child faces.
I'm calling on behalf of a member that is...
Before, the member would call into the general member service line, speak with someone for up to an hour with little to no resolution. Now it's a 10-minute phone call that they receive from their personal advisor where they're being educated and resolutions are already in place. Sounds good. Well, I'll be in touch then, and you guys take care.
I think our leaders need to recognize that the quality of the relationships and the experience that our constituents have really is the end game. And there will be tremendous value financially if we do it right and do it well. And so our leaders need to behave, act, construct, decide with that idea in mind and knowing that that's the direction we're on.